Hello everyone! Welcome to a 4v4 siege battle that I played. Whew boy, this is, warning, this is going to be a little choppy. I even have the graphics lowered, but when there are, 8 players in a game, that's a lot of units because these are all full army. So again, it's going to be a little choppy, so just heads up knowing that. So the allied army here is going to be 2 greenskins, the vampire counts, which is me, and then a chaos player versus a Bretonnian player, 2 wood elves, and a dwarf player over here. You know, it may actually be easier if I put on unit banners. Will that make it easier? Yeah, I guess that'll make it easier in this 4v4 battle. Man, I've not played with unit banners for so long. So there we go. Unit banners, just so you can kind of see the position of the armies. I'm not going to cover every single army. Dwarves are basically dwarf warriors and thunderers. Elves are a ton of glade guard and some eternal guard in the middle, being led by a glade lord. They have a spell slinger back here, and the Bretonnian player is a bunch of foot knights, and then a couple of Bretonnian bowmen being led by the Fey enchantress, who is right there in the middle. For our allied army, we have Grimgor leading this greenskin player. The orc war boss is over here on a flying mount. I have Isabella von Karstein, 2 white kings, 2 necromancers, kind of hidden back here. And then the chaos player has 4 shaggoths, I think. I think it's 4 shaggoths. They have Big Bird and then 3 hell cannons back here. And that's the general gist you see in Ragnarok and some other casters. There's a lot of units in this battle, so we're just going to kind of go with that. And now that you kind of have the placement of where everyone is, let's now turn off the unit banners, because it does kind of clog up the screen a little bit. So there are just a ton of archers on these walls, which is to be expected. Some of them targeting my necromancer, so I'm going to kind of pull them back. But I'm actually kind of happy that they're targeting my necromancer, because then that allows our siege engines to get to the walls without getting peppered by a bunch of arrows. So I'm not even sure how to cover this. There's just so many. So we have some trolls here from the greenskin player meeting up with some shaggoths. They're going to start pounding down the gates. I also brought a puppy for that same exact reason, so he is going to be joining them here soon. As the just so many of these siege towers are about to hit the walls. I'll do a cinematic view after this, but for right now we're just going to keep this kind of way up here just so you can kind of see the flow of battle and what exactly is happening. So down here we have a bunch of thunderers, dwarf warriors, foot knights, and then we get into glade guard, and then we have more dwarf warriors, and the dwarf lord is actually leading his forces from this side of the battle, and he's going to be getting his forces up on this wall to support the foot knights against the orcish forces that are about to land. I put a mortis engine next to the wall to try and get its aura on these glade guard for as long as possible, and then I'm going to move the mortis engine over here inside the gate for as long as possible, for like a minute or so it can hit all of these units around it with its damaging aura. Meanwhile, our grave guard, the black orcs, all of the melee forces are landing on the walls here from the siege towers. I think all the siege towers basically made it. So we have Crimson Killers down there, we have Grimgor, Orc Boys, my Grave Guard in the center, and then more Orc Boys and Black Orcs over here fighting against the Dwarf. The Shaggoths are about to break through the gate over here, and when that happens, Big Bird and the Shaggoths are going to go right through here, and I believe they cut down this alley to try and get to the Glade Guard that are back here. My goal, and I had a long time to think about this because this battle was very slow, is to get these 2 Necromancers who both only have Raised Dead. And I want them and the Mortis engine to deal with the archers. So I'm going to get our necromancers down here. We're going to cast a couple Raised Dead. And then when this area is kind of cleared up of forces, I'm going to get my Mortis engine, or Claw and Gash, to go straight up the middle and try and deal with these archers. Meanwhile, Isabella and her 2 White Kings, they're both on horses, so I can't put them on the walls. And I'm just, again, waiting for this area to get a little calmer before I send her in there. You can see some metal lore spells being cast in the glade guard over here from Sartorial, the Everwatcher, who's pushing through the middle with a couple of the Shaggoths. These Hell Cannons, by the way, are not going to do jack shit. Just want to let you know. Just, in case you're wondering what they're doing. Not a damn thing. Over here, Grimgor and his Crimson Orcs are breaking through the vastly lower tiered Dwarf Warriors that are backed up by the Thunderers, but the Thunderers had to leave the walls. Now I believe they're going to be shooting into the Arachnoid Spider, who's going to be marching through the gate here in just a moment. There goes my Claw and a Gash, and you're going to see here, I've summoned a couple of Raised Dead, I guess 3, 2 skeletons and a zombie, I believe. And there's another, there's a zombie. 3 skeletons and a zombie. We have a Foot of Gork being dropped by our friendly allied player. The actual forces that I brought to the battle are all going to basically be kind of held up here by Eternal Guard. So everything else back in the backfield is going to be basically just Raised Dead spells. And you can tell, because their morale bars are not going to move, because they're unbreakable, the summon units are. Over here we have an Orc War Boss that's going to be getting over the wall and threatening these Glade Guard along with Big Bird and the Shaggoth. Again, this is just going to be a massive battle with my Vampire Council. I've run Isabella and her Vikings over there, and the Arachnarch is going to get in here soon. And you can see these 2 Skeletal Warriors that I summoned are chasing all of these Glade Guard over into this back corner, and they're going to run interference with this Eternal Guard. So I'm going to get this Claw and the Gash and the 2 Necromancers, and we're going to run down this area, is my plan. And again, this battle was played in slow motion, so I had a lot of time to think about this. My Grave Guard, though, are going to be held up here by the Eternal Guard for most of this battle, like, against them, and then the Foot Squires that are still here that are facing off against Isabella, my Vargulf, and all that. Over here, Grimgor and the Crimson Killer still dealing with the Dwarven Warriors that are on the walls, but they are slowly winning this fight over here. The Dwarf Lord, though, of the enemy forces, they are holding their own against the friendly Orc Warboss and his boys over here, and they're going to hold for a very long time. But Big Bird and some Trolls and Sartorial is back here just causing a massive amounts of havoc on the Glade Guard and the forces that are positioned here. My Claw and the Gash and the 2 Necromancers are going to cause a bunch of havoc on their archers over here. And then Isabella and the rest of my Grave Guard are causing havoc in the middle. So we're kind of pushing them in every single battle because they devoted so much to the ranged part of their armies. But the ranged part of their armies are being shut down. Like Big Bird, a Shaggoth, and a Troll, and now the Orc Warboss shut down this entire contingent of archers over there. My 2 Necromancers, basically, and the Claw and the Gash, are shutting down all these archers over here. Because now my Necromancer is going to get over here. And I'm going to cast more Raised Dead, and then the Claw and the Gash with the Fear and Terror, and we're going to... Spoiler alert, we're going to win this battle over here against all these archers with the Claw and the Gash and the 2 Necromancers. Meanwhile, Isabella and her elite guard here with the Vikings and the puppy is now dealing with the Spell Singer of Life over here, and then we're going to move on to the Glade Lord who is right behind her. This is another group of zombies that I believe I had Isabella raise because she also has the Raised Death spell, and then also Invocation of Nehek. But again, you see my Grave Guard are kind of just being held here still by the Eternal Guard, but I'm okay with that considering the other damage that we're dealing to the enemy armies. Over here, Grimgor and the Crimson Killers now dealt with mostly Dwarf Warriors. Now they're on to what is left of the Foot Squires. Over here, I guess there is still one more Dwarf Warrior fighting against a couple of the Night Goblins that climbed up the walls with these ladders over here. Sartorial and the Orc Warboss still causing havoc on the right side, and now the only force that's kind of remaining is in the center, but we have a Queen, we have Graveguard, we have Isabella and her Vikings are still basically fresh, along with the puppy. We are now routing the Damsel, we're routing the Glade Lord, and the Claw and the Gash, Fear and Terror just messed up this entire clump of soldiers, including an Eternal Guard, and now they are clearing out and running for their lives, so I'm going to have the Necromancer and the Claw and the Gash head back over here and meet up with the rest of our forces in the center, which are currently breaking. Isabella and the Vikings are going to go out down here to try and fight off against the secondary Glade Lord, because he's one of the only things remaining. And still remaining too is this Dwarf Lord leading the Dwarf Warriors over here on our right side, the enemy's left side of the wall, and they held for the entire battle. I think these are going to be the last ones to break, but this is going to be a victory for the allied forces of the Greenskins, Vampire Counts, and the forces of Chaos. As you can see, a bunch of some broken and shattered flags now running in fear deeper into the city, but they will not be able to hide from the combined forces. We'll say under the leadership of Isabella, because damn it, this is my recording. So Isabella ran all of it, except for the cell cannons, because they didn't do shit. She didn't run those; those were separate. It's own little thing. But anyway, good game to all those involved. I know some of you want more siege battles. I typically find them to be slightly boring, but I don't, every once in a great while, maybe throwing out another siege battle would be an okay thing. So here we go. Good game to Stefano, Vegas, Juan Diego, Montoya, which were my allies. Then we have Grizzly Bay, Twin Blessings, Esthis, and Anonymous as the enemy forces here. So just highlights, the Graveguard, Stearnsman did okay, Puppy did great, and the Claw and the Gash, man, backed up by those 2 Necromancers, just ran through the middle and just killed so many Glade Guard, or I should say made so many Glade Guard rout. For Stefano, this was the Orc player on my left, being led by Grimgor, who got 100 kills. Crimson Killers, 134 kills. The Night Goblins did okay. 61 kills here is really good. I didn't even realize they had archers. And the Arachnarch Queen caused a lot of problems. Then Vegas, you can see here, the Hell Cannons did absolutely nothing. But the Shaggoths and Sartorial did a lot of work in this battle. So, like, more than half of their forces did really well in there. The Hell Cannons just didn't do anything, really. And then for Juan Diego, the person on my right, we have 75 kills in the Orc Warboss. These Black Horse did really well. The Trolls were deep in their position. And then the 2 Goblin Rock Lobbers got a lot of kills as well. For the enemy forces, Grizzly Bay with all the Foot Knights and the Bretonnian Archers, the Foot Knights, some of them did really well. 120 kills is insane. And they held off Isabella and my puppy at the front gate for a very long time. For Twin Blessings, their Eternal Guard also assisted in holding the center for a very, very long time. And then Aethys was the one who brought a bunch of Glade Guard, but me and a lot of my allies were apparently on the same page and knew we had to pierce the enemy's front lines however we could to shut down the archers, and I think most of us did that. I don't know, actually I don't know if Stefano got past the walls really, but I know Vegas and Juan Diego and then me also, we all had something in the backlines hounding all of these Glade Guards, so they weren't really able to do much. And then the Dwarf Lord leading all their Dwarf Warriors and Thunderers, decent amount of kills amongst all the Dwarf Warriors. The Dwarf Lord held to the bitter end, and the Thunderers looks like they didn't really get to do too much in that battle. But again, good game to all those involved. I hope you enjoyed that. And let's watch a cinematic view, but it is going to be a little choppy, because again, these are 8 players with full armies, and it's just a lot of stuff happening at once. But I hope you still enjoy. That has a lot of siege towers.
Now! With haste! Now! Now! With haste!
That is a lot of Glade Guards sitting in the center.
With haste!
Little traffic jam here.
So be it.
Where are they running to? They're running right into some Orc boys. We got some Crimson Killers down here. And Grimgore. Again, a little choppy. A little bit.
With haste, your master calls.
And here comes the up the center maneuver. These 2 Necros are about to just thread the needle. That foot of Gork did kind of clear the way, though.
Now! Not now! Moving! Now! A new order comes! With haste! Come to me! Serve my will! Now!
I didn't even notice I had Goblin allies in the middle. And then way over here, we have the dwarf lord trying to hold on to this part of the wall. He's in here somewhere. There he is, right there. The puppy! What up, puppy?
Dance macabre. Here they come.
Beautiful decay. Yes, yes.
Hide.
I think the battle's about to be over here.
Swiftly.
Maybe hard to see, but man, there are a lot of corpses. A lot of corpses. Yep, and there we go. So hope you enjoyed the siege battle. Again, I'll try to do some more of these in the future. I don't really like, framey replays, but that's just kind of something you have to deal with. At least I have to deal with in 4v4 battle situation because there's so many. These hell cannons, though, man. Also, I have a battering ram. I dropped it though, considering we have so many monstrous creatures break through the front gate. But yeah, that was there too. So yeah, again, hope you enjoyed. I will see you all in the next battle, everybody. Take care.